Yeah. Yeah.
I need some people on this side.
She told me that my brother treated her like a dog.
Yeah.
No.
Good morning.
Good
Yeah, I mean, so.
Right. We got a lighthouse today, so that's all right. We are going to get started. That's what we said a ago. For those of you all that don't know me, which I think is everybody. I am our MCA. I know, I'm not Tara or Bart or anybody you're used to seeing up here, but they all left me in charge, so. Howdy.
Neighborhood.
Yeah. So we're gonna get started with our culture action items. This week it is taking the high road on confrontational issues or points of difference. Now, we all know that real estate can be a high stress, high demand job, correct?
Absolutely.
No.
And disagreements are inevitable. Taking the high road doesn't always mean avoiding the difficult conversation. It just means handling it with professionalism and respect, right? We can still be competitive and driven while still remaining first. Right? Have you all had any disagreements where you've had to take the high road and everything worked out just fine?
No, I generally don't go there.
You prefer the low road, Tony?
I got too old to take these high roads. I just couldn't. Yeah.
I was like, I wanna go on
The highway, right?
Hey, you won't get that hanging. No. Try to avoid it altogether.
Yeah, sometimes avoiding is the best option, but when disagreements arise, we always take that. All right. Birthday time.
Yeah.
Birthday time. I would call Curtis because his birthday is today, but he informed me. So if I just text Curtis, she can have a birthday. Do we have any birthdays in here that are not on my list? Happy birthday to all of our opposite birthdays. All right. Let's fill some buckets, people. You're a small group, but I know we got buckets to fill.
Well, they're not here, but leadership has helped me out with figuring out all these forms and stuff. They've been like responding. Beth, like as soon as they landed, literally yesterday, was like talking to me in the Uber. She's like, "Here's Bo," like right there. So that was really, really helpful, and I really appreciate that. So
You got your first listing?
I heard from me, yeah. So she helped me figure out the forms and stuff. Yeah, I'm like, I in Bardstown.
It's my hometown.
Oh, really? Yeah. I just gotta think of
Where the urban is.
So.
That's where all the bourbon is.
Yeah.
Well, we know Jennifer's been on here, working her little butt off, so we're happy to see that. Yes.
Bill Ashley's budget for coming in the office. Although it's extremely tough at times, but she makes it in here. It's an inspiration for some of us that don't want to come in here.
Well, I was gonna fill your bucket because I have office scaries and I'm like, hey, it's terrifying. And I called John yesterday and I was like, I belong in the wild in my car. I don't belong in the office. And I know he gets it, right? You don't get that. It's like different. It's not normal for me. Anyways, and I want to fill Leanne and Robert's bucket too because I also called and was freaking out to them. But I made it through and I survived. It actually wasn't that bad and I liked it. So just do the thing that's hard, do the hard thing, and it ends up not being that bad. And now, like, I kind of like it. It just took one day.
Yeah.
Sometimes John, just seeing John's face gets me through the day.
But seriously,
You're like, yeah, if he can make it, I can.
yeah, I was like,
He's helped me out a lot, many days too.
so all the bucket.
That's awesome.
I'll do one.
Yeah.
I would like to thank David for helping me with the new system and stuff. So thanks, David, for your help.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, good.
Teamwork.
The man that just spoke is our newest home front loan officer.
Right.
I'm gonna bring David up here, introduce him,
Good.
get y'all started.
Yeah, right there.
Home front is gonna take over from here. We're gonna have a nice little mortgage. Info class, so.
Well, we mentioned that, we have Robert with us, come on up here and. And Robert's gonna give us a little background of Robert and what's not any things that he loves to do, no, we just give us a little background.
Hunting, fishing.
Right.
Well, obviously, I'm Robert. I'm from London, Kentucky. I've served 20 years in the Air Force. After I retired. I became Nestle Health, their maintenance manager. And then I got a divorce, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. Not always a bad thing, right? So I decided to move back home. Then I met Ashley, and she was like, hey, why don't you become a lender? So I knew nothing about the business, nothing at all.
Just so you know.
But it's $2 million. So it's working well, you know, but my goal as a lender is if I'm able to partner with any of you realtors. I'm here for you, I actually work for you. I want to know what I can do to help you grow your business, okay? I know what you can do to help me, right? You can send me referrals and clients and stuff. What can I do to help you? But at the end of the day, it's a partnership. It's not just a one-way street. It's not you funnel me everything and I'm not doing anything for you. What can I do for you? That's what I'm here.
All right, so I guess we're gonna get started with, or, I guess we're ready for this. So this is, the observations, and so I think Daniel's gonna start out and do the first part here, and then I'll pick it up. Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. So we're gonna dive a little bit deeper into some of mortgage type loans and detail those out for you a little bit more than what you probably heard in the past. And as we go through these, definitely feel free to stop me and ask any questions for David. At the end of this, you should be able to understand and explain each of the loan types, okay? Understand eligibility requirements, explain such things as mortgage insurance, understand more about VA entitlement, identify geographic restrictions that we'll talk about on USDA loans, and recognize borrowers' advantages for each loan type and what to avoid, what common mistakes to avoid. So what I would recommend is if you don't know this information or have this information, take a screenshot of this because this is probably one of the basic things you need to have with you at all times. When you're having conversations about loans, you need to be able to understand these basics. For VA, FHA, USDA, and conventional, the minimum down payments, as you can see there, VA and USDA are 0, FHA is 3.5. And conventional minimum down payment is 3%. But if you want to avoid PMI, you would need 20% down.
Oh, I didn't know you still need PMI. I guess.
If it's less than 20% down, you have to pay PMI on conventional.
What about FHA?
FHA,
FHA, it's always.
Lifetime.
Even if it's over 20%?
Yeah.
Okay.
after 10 years,
You can,
if you put more than 20, if you put 20% down on FHA, you can waive it after 10 years.
Most
Okay.
people are.
But it's never-
Financed by them.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna
Or
be gone.
moved.
We're gone.
You're gonna be gone or refinanced by.
what if they do the 20% down on FHA before the 10 years?
It's
Whatever comes
Then
first,
stop.
okay, whatever comes first.
Yes,
If you have
exactly.
20% down, you'll never use that program or should.
You would hope.
Huh?
If you
However,
put 20% down, you should never, you shouldn't have really a reason to use that program.
unless you have high debt to income
Yeah.
ratio or low credit score, you can still.
Yeah.
Credit flexibility with conventional is absolutely the best. So if you have really good credit, then you wanna go conventional, right? And low debt to income, it's best to go conventional.
But I'm gonna,
If you have FHA is good, VA is excellent because there's flexibility with credit scores on VA loans. FHA is very good in that you can have low credit scores, obviously, and USDA is okay, but it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
What's the lowest credit score that you guys can do at Homefront for FHA?
FHA is 500 if you put 10% down, but that's very rare. If you have 10% put down,
You don't have a 500 credit score.
that,
Those two things.
there you go, but it is true.
Okay.
But 580,
Also,
580,
also with 500, you can't have any hits or anything in the last 12 months or whatever, I mean.
So realistically though, like a low credit score with with the 3.5, you're like 580?
Yeah.
Like everyone else?
and I'll tell you.
Lower than that, but-
You
I'll
can.
tell you something, if you're ever talking to your client, you start talking a little bit about credit score. And they say anything less than 640, just make a mental note. Basically, there's probably something on that report. Whether it be late payments, collections, derogatory, there's something driving that score, and it could possibly be, let me say this. It could possibly be that they don't have enough credit built. Okay, but something is driving that score. This typically, you're looking at, you should have a 660 or higher. If you haven't done anything over the previous years that would reflect that. Mortgage insurance, VA doesn't require mortgage insurance, but there is a VA funding fee. FHA mortgage insurance is required, as we've talked about. USDA has a guarantee fee. And conventional again is PMI if it's less than 20%. The only geographic restrictions is that USDA must meet the eligibility map requirements. So basically, if you don't have the eligibility map downloaded and you do a lot of rural, then you should download the eligibility map so you can type in the address and see if it says yes, it is eligible for USDA or not.
We'll cover that a bit further.
That's
Yeah,
what we
there's-
have you for, Dana. We just text you the address.
Exactly. And I have it on my phone and I look it up all the time for people. And
Yeah, bad idea.
first time home buyers, there's no restrictions on any of these. And the only one that is eligible for investments is a conventional loan. So basically, property standards, VA is going to probably scrutinize more so than FHA. We'll see that on the next slide. But some of the things they're going to look for, and this is true on FHA as well, but they're going to look at the roof for the remaining life. Typically, it's at least 2 years left on the roof. They're gonna look at if there's a AC, like central air. They're going to be looking to make sure it's working in working order. That there's no electrical hazards. No broken windows on VA. Functional plumbing, no termite damage. Adequate water source, and it's safe. That's the big thing with FHA and VA is they want to make sure that it's free of any hazards and that it's safe for the buyer. Peeling paint, broken handrails, we'll talk more about that in a second. Any missing appliances, rotting wood, unsafe decks and standing water. So one of the things that we see a lot is missing handrails. Typically, if you have 3 steps, and you all probably, I'm sure know this, is if you have 3 steps or more, there has to be a handrail, and in some cases, they'll push even harder if it's missing balusters. They'll require those as well, because a child could fall through there, right? So, I mean, I've had it so far as to say, oh, well, it's supposed to be 38 inches and it's only 36 inches tall, and someone could fall over the rail. So just be cognizant of what they're gonna look for on these. Again, it's all about safety for the buyer. On FHA, it's similar, but not as strict as VA. So, on these, you don't want to have, again, and by peeling paint, go around and look at the house. Look at the exterior windows. Is there a lot of peeling paint? If there is, around the, what do you call that? The threshold on the doors? The threshold? The threshold, if there's rotting wood or peeling paint around the thresholds, the trim, the windows. An appraiser should flag those as needing repairs. Okay, that's the biggest one I see. Again, a missing handrail. They do allow broken windows. And one of the things that's changed over the years is that they don't require window screens anymore. Obviously, you don't have to have central air. You could literally have window units or whatnot, those will pass. If you, again, you have central air, it must be working. Okay, again, something else to point out, and this is very difficult to determine. But if you have issues with the grade. And water can actually go against the foundation of the house, and you can noticeably see that, then obviously that can be flagged as an issue. You wanna make sure there are downspouts. And that the water's being pushed away from the house. Yes, sir.
Sorry, did you
Yes.
say they allow broken windows?
Yes, cracked, I should say cracked, not, I
Okay,
mean, you
all
can't
right.
be, like, it
yeah,
can be crushed.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Let me cover something on the air too. So air, you don't have to have, heating you do.
yes,
Now, the heating, it can't be on the actual, you can't have the controls on unit, it has to be on the wall. So you
Well,
have to have,
baseboard unit today.
Can't be like a
Turn
fake
on.
heater.
you have to have a wall thermostat. Okay, so no matter whether it covers by room, that's fine. But, you know, and you have to have it usually like in bathrooms and different places, so. I mean, it's better to have central, but it doesn't even have to. But you just have to have the heat. Airs, you can sweat, that's no problem.
yeah, that's okay, yes.
This may not be something that you know, but if I'm looking at, my house does not have a handrail with 3 steps. That's what an inspector will probably flag, like I'll need to get settled.
They should, here's
Just one of like the low things too.
Here's what I'm gonna say, and I'm just gonna be completely honest with you guys, okay? The appraiser, if your buyer's coming in and they're coming in and they're gonna get an FHA loan. And you do not have a handrail, it should be flat. Okay, as a listing agent. What I'm seeing. Is, just to be completely open and honest and frank, it depends on the appraiser. I've seen it go both ways. I've seen a very strict appraiser flag everything, and I've seen, Krista, we know this. Not flag anything. And we're like, well, here's what we think is gonna get flagged, this, and this, and then they come back and they say nothing, as is, no repair. And you're shocked, but, okay. You know, we're gonna go with it, right? USDA, so, obviously it has to have a water source. It has to have road access, and the road has to be accessible by public. What? Go faster?
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing I'll say about, it cannot, be income producing property, so it cannot be unsafe, obviously, and the last thing is to qualify for USDA, not only do you have to meet the eligibility map. But you also cannot make over, I think it's $113,250 from 1 to 4 family.
That's
Okay.
Produce income, you mean like they can't have chickens and sell eggs? Or are you talking about like,
No, you can't,
big
it can't be a
operation.
rental property, it
okay,
can't be producing income.
okay, alright,
Let's see. Conventional property standards, these are the most flexible, obviously, they are not strict on appraisals. They'll pretty much let anything go. But it must still be structural, have structural integrity. And they don't care, they're not looking for cosmetics. I mean, you can buy a house that has absolutely the subfloor and no flooring, floor coverings, that's fine for conventional, no issues there. Okay, here's a realtor tip. We have a lot of compliance that we have to abide by, and here's some things that for you all to be cognizant of. Don't say things like, it needs a lot of work, it's perfect for an FHA loan. You know, you don't wanna say that, you can say it needs a lot of work. But that's where you should probably like cap it. And not say it's perfect for an FHA, because we don't want to steer. Just like you worry about steering into particular neighborhoods, we don't wanna steer people into a particular loan type. If it does need a lot of work, it could possibly mean that it needs to go 203K, which is an FHA rehab loan or renovation loan. Maybe it needs to go, conventional. Okay. Occupancy requirements, so here's a breakdown, this is another kind of a good slide, maybe to take a snapshot of. For FHA. The occupant, you must be the primary, it must be a primary residence only. So if you're going to get an FHA loan, you can't have this as an investment property. One borrower, at least one borrower must occupy, you can have a co-borrower that is a non-occupant. And multi-unit up to 4 units, such as a duplex, which is obviously 2 units, it can have an owner occupied side and then a rental side.
Dana,
Yes.
can somebody fix that for us now?
Okay.
Oh, we lost.
USDA, primary residence only, it cannot be a vacation home, it cannot be an investment home. VA, you must occupy, and this is pretty much true, I think, on everything, is you must occupy the property within 60 days, you typically sign a form at closing that says this is my primary residence and I will be moving in 60 days. VA's primary residence only and cannot be used as an investment property. Conventional can be a primary, secondary, vacation home, or an investment property.
I have a question, if someone buys a house with FHA. And then they sell their house, so they rent it at some point down the line, can they do that?
Yes,
Yeah, how many years do they have to live on it, 2?
Okay, 12, right?
two out of 5,
Well,
right?
for our purposes, it doesn't have to actually be 2, but for tax purposes, they probably want to wait till 2.
Yeah, but yeah, have to get taxed. But and then can they buy again with another FHA loan at some point?
There are restrictions.
What are the restrictions you know?
So that means if you are trying to move from one property to another property. Less than 100 miles, and you're going from FHA to FHA to FHA, they could say that it's less. It's all related to fraudulent activity, people flipping homes that
Yeah.
have hurt in the past, so they're going to be strict.
Well, I get that question for people that buy the first time they have, this is not gonna be my forever home. I'm gonna
Yes.
probably live here 3-5 years, then I wanna rent it, then I wanna buy another one.
Yeah.
Can I do FHA again? I'm like, I don't know.
It depends
Can
on, it's gonna depend, right, on the distance. Well, if you're renting that house out, yes, and then you're buying a new primary residence.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
As long as it's
Okay.
primary.
okay,
Yes.
perfect, as long as it's your primary.
Yeah,
The rule is you gotta live in it for 12 months.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
almost, is it okay to skip VA funding fee, or?
Sure.
Huh?
You just highlight through it real quick, but I mean,
I mean, it's basically, VA funding fee is usually what, 3.3% of the loan amount.
substitute.
It is built into your, the funding fee is built into your loaning amount, so it's not like it's out of pocket. Yes, yes,
So they can do the VA multiple times?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
Wow.
yes, you can do VA multiple times.
There's VA, there's a lot of things you can do with it, but you know, one of the big things is when first time use is, you know, again, you go this like 2.15. If somebody is disabled, then that's exempted.
Exactly.
Oh,
If someone is receiving disability income on a VA, there is no funding fee. If you are a surviving spouse, there is no funding fee. Questions on this, just let us know. I mean, we're not expecting you all to know these types of rules or anything like that. Obviously for FHA mortgage insurance, you pay that monthly. And you pay part of it up front. It's actually kind of weird the way, when you look at the disclosure, it actually shows this. PMI, but it's upfront and it's actually embedded into your loan amount, half of your down payment.
When you do these, and let's say you get you're working with the customer gets the loan estimate. it can scare the crap out of them, because a lot of times it still shows the closing costs. So all of a sudden, you've got an extra $6,000 or $7,000 showing the closing costs. You know, because a lot of times some of these lenders don't flip it over back to. You know, and the same thing with FHA, they'll still show it as a closing cost. So be cognizant of, you know, read the line there and see that if that's in the line of closing costs, make sure they can. We make sure to tell them, but make sure to let them know that for sure that, well, that's actually not gonna be the closing cost, that's actually gonna flip back underneath the loan. Okay, so it has to start one way and then it goes back into the loan, but it initially starts out showing us closing costs. Does that make sense? Yes, no, don't lose you.
Just to reiterate, okay, so when you look at a loan estimate on an FHA loan. What they do is they take the down payment, which is 3.5%. Okay, they split it in half. They put half of it up into the closing cost under, it's under services you cannot shop for, and it'll say mortgage insurance premium. It'll be half of the down payment sitting in that field, looking like closing costs. Then down at the bottom of the loan estimate, it'll say down payment, which is the other half of your down payment. So it takes the down payment, splits it in two, puts one in one section and the other half in another section, making it look like it's closing costs, when in fact it's half of your down payment is being rolled into the loan amount.
Right, making it more confusing.
Makes it more confusing,
It does.
but that's how they do
I
it.
fight it all the time.
Yeah. All
What
right.
I'm hearing is if you have questions. Call them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing. Like, a loan estimate looks funny. Just call us. let
And
us know.
usually we preface it initially, even talking to the customer, so that
Yes.
they understand. What they're getting ready to look at and understand that that's not in the closing.
And then I'm
cost.
sure they see the down payment part, it's like, no, that's half of what I'm paying down, you know,
It's,
it's.
yes, if they're looking, if they understand, they're looking at it, but I always go through it line by line. Every single line I go through with the borrower, and then I reiterate that the second time we see it, the third time, and the fourth time we see that loan estimate. I explain it line by line. All right, USDA guarantee fee, it is an upfront guarantee fee embedded into the overall loan amount. It's usually lower than FHA mortgage insurance. And it often makes USDA very affordable. Obviously, you don't have a down payment as well. So keep this in mind. A borrower or buyer wants to go USDA, they're looking in rural areas, everything, you know, that part is fine, however. Their debt to income ratio is high. Then they may not qualify. Okay, or their income is high. They may not qualify. Okay, so there are things about USDA that we need to check to be sure. They're scrutinizing USDA very hard these days, and you're not gonna get, if you got a 45 DTI, you're probably not gonna get it approved. All right, conventional PMI, it applies when the down payment is less than 20%. When you reach 78% loan to value, it stops. Usually less expensive for borrowers with excellent credit. So knowing that, you know, PMI is gonna stop is an incentive to go conventional. Minimum down payment is 0.5% lower on conventional than it is on FHA, so if you meet the qualifications, it is, I'll say 80 to 90% better to go conventional when you can. Okay. Eligibility on the geography, so. You can buy anywhere you want, anytime you want. Under any of these loan types, unless you're going USDA, and then you have to check that eligibility back. The other thing I'll say, this is a good point David put in here, that. Sometimes they think they're. In town or too close to town, and it's, oh, it won't go USDA, and we've looked at some that. In Bardstown, in fact, that were on the eligibility map. That I was surprised to see, so always be sure to check it if there's a question. Don't just assume that it's in the city limits and it won't qualify.
Is there like a delay? Is that probably why, like a delay between the map and like what they're actually seeing as like the growth, that they haven't determined the city's growing up enough? Like the Bardstown's getting bigger, so like maybe like a lot of time the eligibility map.
It's
It's current.
It's
It's current.
Okay, cool.
So
It's current.
here's your map right here. So there's how you get to it.
There's the one.
But so Richmond, Winchester, Lexington, Frankfurt, all those, you can't do USDA. You do it right out of city limits, but here's the thing. If you drill down, well, you might have a house on one side of the street that's can't, and one on the other side of the street you can't. So what you want to do is drill down, tell your customer they can drill it down too, they can go out and be looking at stuff too. This way you can actually find what is, best for you for the USDA. Again, the housing has to be usually about 29% of your debt to income. Can't be much more than that, so they're pretty tight on some of that. So if your housing, if your income and everything, the housing is gonna be more than 29%, you probably want that check. USDA. So for specific advantages on the VA, I'm sure what they're looking at here, other than, it's the veterans, active duty, National Guard reserves, National Guard, usually 6 years, that's 6 years in. Eligibility, spouse and spouses, advantages, of course, there is no down payment. No monthly mortgage insurance, competitive interest rates, flexible credit, and flexible debt to income. Sometimes you get up to 55%. Key on the VA is when the advantages of that is when you don't have the down payment, and actually I was thinking about something right on my head. Not the mortgage insurance. Oh, so let's say somebody's wanting to refi. Let's say they got or they're wanting to buy a new house. They bought the first one VA, which was good because they didn't have any money. They've had this house for a while, and now they want to get another house. They've got excellent credit, and they've got quite a bit of equity in the house. Do they need a VA loan? Probably not. Okay, that you probably at that point switch to conventional. Because again, if VA loan is giving you no down payment, no PMI. Well, if you got enough money, you're not going to do PMI. And if you're doing that, then you put the down payment down anyway, so it doesn't matter. And with the VA, you have funding fees. So you're going to get taxed with the funding fee when you really didn't want to. So, that's when we look at it and say, well, conventional might be a better way to go for you.
But rates are better, VA, they're normally a half point better.
You look at that, all that looks at, you look at all of that, but again, it depends on where they're at, because if they've got a 800 credit score and all that stuff, they're gonna be in pretty good shape. And then do you want to do that? And do you want to pay for the funding fee, or do you not want to pay for the funding fee? So that's the bottom line. But it's individually every time we go through, we're gonna look at it and see what's the best. And give them options, and then they give choice of what they want to do.
Hey, David, in regards to this VA, and Dana May spoke on it, there are some instances where that funding fee is waived. Or is that?
Yes, yeah.
If you're 10% or more disabled.
If you're disabled for the most part, and most of them are 10% or more, then there is no funding fee.
Okay.
Okay, so FHA is really good for first time buyers. People that have limited savings, definitely lower credit scores. And any kind of recent credit events, they're more forgiving, okay, than some of these others. And it's 3.5% down versus, you can get 3% on conventional, but you got to have a little bit better credit score. Otherwise you're looking at 5% or more. So here you're 3.5, and you're not having all the extra uh, uh, points added in, it kind of cleared all that out, like you would have on conventional loan, which is things we look at. If people used to think 740 was really good credit score, well, that's average now. 780, 800 is your better credit scores. So if, if below 740 or whatever, I look, you kind of give the person the options of, USDA, conventional or FHA, and see where the house is and what their income is. I mean, there's a lot of factors to figure in, and that's what we did. So we're there to try to figure it all out. Of course, they had out gift funds, and that's another deal. On conventional, somebody's wanting to do a lot of, give a large gift, and somebody's only been 3% down, well, then that limits how much the gift's gonna be on the conventional, whereas FHA, they can go all the way up to 6% right off the bat. Okay, so it helps out with the gifting. Any questions on that?
I do, I thought FHA, you couldn't use the. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
USDA, again, that's just if if we get into it, we'll do it. But, it's moderate income rural buyers. No down payment bars if you want that, and, again, 100% financing, good rates, and low monthly costs. So it's really it's a good buy if they can qualify. Conventional, again, we've gone through all that. Second homes, that's where that kicks in. Move up buyers. So, here's your decision trees, we call it, buyers, are they better? Well, when you look at a VA loan, zero down payment, VA, USDA, it's right on down the line. Excellent credit, how much do they want to put down? Biggest thing we see a lot of people, they're sitting there saving, and well, I gotta have 20%. No, they don't. So that's a fallacy that's out there that a lot of times you can turn somebody and go ahead and get them moving towards a house if they realize that they don't have to wait for that 20% loan. So common mistakes, promising a property, that qualifies for FHA or VA. Be careful, don't do it. Assuming USDA's only applies to farms, of course, that's not correct. It's just rural. Assuming VA, and also you can do mobile homes with all those too. So it doesn't matter what it is, we can do manufactured homes. I say manufactured homes. Most of the otherwise, can do some singles. But assuming VA can only be used once. That was the question I think somebody had earlier. Yes, and also, I had one, mine was assumed, and so the guy took part of my guarantee. I still had enough to go buy my other house with my VA loan. So you can actually have, it goes by the points.
Yeah, I've used it like 5 times.
Yeah. And you just keep going with it, it's not a problem. Forgetting occupancy requirements. So that's a kicker there. So whether it's a duplex type thing where you want to just invest and not actually be in it, or the type of people that are going to be in it, it's the final bar we're going to be there. Writing contracts before confirming loan eligibility. That can also be an issue because we need to know what kind of loan we're dealing with. Otherwise, you're going to be writing a couple of different contracts. And hopefully you're right in the contract. Assuming all mortgage insurance is the same. It is not. It differs between the different types of loans. And not the loans, but as much the amount somebody puts down. If they're doing 10%, mortgage insurance is a little bit, they're going to be paying less. And really, when it gets down to somebody's just putting 5% down on a conventional loan versus 3.5% on a FHA or something, they're probably not going to have the house the whole time they're waiting to get 20% down. They're going to refinance, they're going to sell, they're going to do something. So conventional sometimes you know, and is not the way that you might want to go. It could be FHA. If, but if somebody's already putting 15% down and they're on 5% different to get that 20%, it might be a good way to go as long as their credit's good. So a lot of options, things we look at. Realtor action items, ask about military service early. Verify the property condition before recommending FHA or VA. Check USDA, geographic eligibility. Understanding occupancy requirements before writing the offers. Never assume a borrower has exhausted VA benefits. And always consult with us before advising clients on financial options. Don't advise somebody on financial options, let us do that.
Thank you for your.
Question. Is it just surviving spouses or like surviving dependents or just spouses?
So key takeaways, VA offers, you know, exceptional benefits, especially the veterans, and no down payment, no monthly mortgage, FHA. You know, things we've already covered on all of these. The bottom one's the best thing. The best loan program depends on the borrower's goals, qualifications, property type, and long-term financial strategy. We figure all that in, figure out which one of these is gonna work for them. So that's what we do.
You wanna play your game?
But, I don't know how to play it, so.
Yeah, I didn't. She said you were gonna do this.
I'm just clicking the button. You're supposed to ready to ask questions.
Read the
Alright.
question,
Well,
I don't care
that's
about the question, I just don't know how to,
You can do it.
it's complicated for us. Do they have to scan the code to play?
Yes, they will.
Y'all gotta scan the code to play.
What are we playing? Alright.
The game.
We're gonna play Cahoots.
What's that?
It's
I'm on a yard sign. It's like last time we played.
How much you paid
Play,
attention?
yeah.
Yes, exactly. How much you paid attention?
In class,
And if you fail,
you have to redo it.
you have to redo the test.
Like dance, I'm out of here.
Look. You can't fail.
Closing on.
No.
Uh-oh.
Good deal.
That don't count.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, but we'll fly through it.
Just open notes.
If you can put it in your notes within like 5 seconds or whatever.
Don't.
Alright, scan that code, log in.
Oh, can't go login.
Not you, David. Y'all scan code, log in. And also that would be you.
If you're not patient.
It's
music.
Okay.
Alright.
Wait, who's 3K?
JK is me.
Jennifer.
Oh, okay, I mean, LASIK surgery. What?
I just look like. Alright. Yeah, right.
Oh, I can't wait around. In the hair, I gotta bring the hair up. Ready?
Alright.
Hey. Which loan can require 0 down payment? Oh, you got 20 seconds. FHA and USDA. USDA and conventional, FHA and VA and USDA.
You gotta know your colors and shapes too.
Right.
Do you? Oh.
Good job, guys.
Perfect. Look at you. Buyer has weaker credit, but small down payment. Which loan should they go with? They have weaker credit. But small, I should say and.
Yeah.
I should say and small down payment. Which loan?
Drum roll.
Wow.
Look at us.
Whoa, look at everybody. Next.
They listen to you, right?
Yeah, house has broken windows and missing handrails. Which loan is most flexible? Most flexible.
to grab it like that.
I'm
I'm sure about that, you like.
So, I wanna go on one.
Good job, conventional, okay? Which loans are designed for rural areas only?
You think?
Rural areas only. And no things that are designed for, but it doesn't, obviously, it doesn't have. Oh, am I behind? Buyer wants minimum monthly payment and 20% down. They want a minimum monthly payment with and they have 20% to put down, which loan?
Where's the music?
That's what I'm saying, it's,
Well, jazzier than Jeopardy.
you know, it's hard to get a little bit. Okay, what everybody pick? Good job, look at this. We were paying attention to get them for, as a gift.
I'll figure it out.
Oh, look at this. Dun, dun, dun. A property has standing water, look at that water, and an unsafe deck.
That's a lot of stuff.
Which loan struggles? Which loan struggles? Which loan struggle? Oh. Okay, yeah, cause you could have a multiple. Good job. True or false? VA loan requires the property to be safe, sound, and sanitary.
Da, da, da.
Yes.
Da. Playing Jeopardy here.
There we go.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, see, Madison liked this slide. Buyer has 5% down in strong credit, which fits. 5% down in strong credit. Perfect. Oh, she liked this one too. Yeah.
You're really having a struggle.
Yeah, what minimum down payment does FHA usually require? And you get to slide your little bar.
Stop. What are we doing here? Oh,
Slide your bar, Ashley.
this is making us work more.
Yeah, slide your bar. Minimum down payment on an FHA loan. Hey, keep back there.
That's what partners do.
Yeah.
That's my real. That's what I do for my real. That's what I do.
Everybody say 3.5? Perfect, 3.5%. FHA, 3.5%. Dang, Robert, like you're cheating. Right. How confident do you feel with loan types today? So I say, how confident do you feel after our training?
How's that gonna be?
Actually, like, I have a phone number.
There's no rules. There's no
I'm the
rules.
actual boyfriend.
Right,
That.
pretty confident, look, a little confident. Total loan nerd, who did total loan?
Again, not fair.
All right, not fair. All right, yay, thank you for participating. That was great. That was so fun.
Comment, honey.
Oh, so that was Krista. Krista, join back there.
I mean, okay, he did help me on one of those, so.
All right, lunch is out there, enjoy lunch. David helped get it all set up.
It's fun today.
Enjoy lunch.
Now, 9 with 0 help.
Wait,
I've got my cover.
oh gosh,
Yeah.
it's okay.
What?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I forgot.
More.
I'll send you a link.
Just send it out in the notes.
Email.
Like, real quick.
Don't tell anybody about this. Tell anybody about the slides. Still know, right? Get that to you.
That is something new. Actually, it's 20 something less, you know? Well, actually, what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do.